Hey, fellow time-slip adventurers, did you know? The mighty Catholic Church, beacon of faith for millions, once splintered into not one, not two, but 3 popes, all wearing the same tiara, all wielding the same keys to heaven, and all damning each other straight to hell. Yeah, you heard that right. 3 men, each claiming to be God's vicar on earth, turning the medieval world into a papal powder keg. Picture this. It's the late 1300s. Europe is a patchwork of feuding kingdoms, and the Church, supposed to unite them all, is about to become the biggest divider of them all. In the next, we'll chase the ghosts of Avignon and roam through riots, secret elections, and councils that redefined power itself. We'll uncover how a single bad-tempered choice ignited 40 years of chaos, how nations picked sides like it was the World Cup, and how one epic gathering finally stitched the wounds. Stick around, because by the end, you'll wonder, was this divine comedy or the devil's own joke? And if tales like this light a fire under your history-loving soul, smash that subscribe button for the channel, your passport to the past's juiciest secrets. Let's crack open the Vatican vaults and dive in. To understand the storm, we gotta rewind to the calm before, or what passed for calm in the 14th century. It all starts with a move that history calls the Babylonian captivity of the papacy. Not actual chains and exile like the Jews in Old Babylon, but close enough. In 1309, under pressure from the iron-fisted king Philip IV of France. Think of him as a medieval mob boss with a divine complex. Pope Clement V packed up the papal court and hightailed it from Rome to Avignon, a sun-baked city on the Rhine River, smack in French territory. Why? Politics, pure and simple. Philip had just crushed the Knights Templar, those warrior monks who'd been banking Europe's gold, and he wasn't about to let a pope cramp his style. Clement, a Gascon by birth and Philip's puppet, figured Avignon was safer. No rowdy Roman mobs baying for Italian blood. But what began as a temporary pit stop turned into a 70-year squat. 7 popes in a row, all French, all bunkered in that gilded palace overlooking the river, turning the Holy See into a French fiefdom. Imagine you're a pilgrim trudging to St. Peter's Basilica, only to find it a ghost town. The cardinals, those purple-robed power brokers, grew fat and Frenchified, doling out bishoprics like candy to their cronies. Corruption festered. Simony, selling church offices, became sport, and the air in Avignon reeked of nepotism. Europe grumbled. Poets like Petrarch, that sharp-tongued Italian humanist, penned fiery letters, calling it a new Babylon, a sinkhole of vice where popes played king instead of shepherd. But here's where the human heart creeps in. Let's lean into a whisper from the past, inspired by the chronicles of a lowly Avignon scribe named Jean de Roquetelade, who watched it all unfold. Picture him in his cramped scriptorium, quill scratching by candlelight. The river whispers secrets to the palace walls, but the popes hear only the king's commands. I, a simple monk, dream of Rome's 7 hills, where saints once walked. How long until the chains break? Roquetelade wasn't making it up. His prophecies, preserved in Vatican archives, warned of doom if the popes didn't return. Subtle fiction, sure, that inner voice adds pulse, but it's rooted in real prophecies that stirred the pot. By 1377, the pressure cooker boiled over. Pope Gregory XI, a bookish lawyer turned reluctant pontiff, faced a chorus of pleas from his saintly sister Elizabeth, who knelt in prayer for Rome's revival. From Catherine of Siena, that firebrand mystic who marched to Avignon barefoot, berating the Pope like a wayward son. Up, shepherd, and prove your paternity. Her letters, fiery primaries in the Siena archives, burn with urgency. Even the Romans rioted, slaughtering French officials in the streets. Gregory caved. On a crisp January morning, he sailed down the Rhine, past mist-shrouded vineyards, and docked in Rome after 7 decades away. The Eternal City welcomed him like a prodigal son, banners waving, crowds cheering. But Gregory, racked by gout and guilt, whispered to his cardinals, this was a mistake. The French air suits us better. He planned to bolt back after Easter. Fate, or perhaps divine irony, had other ideas. On March 27, 1378, just weeks later, he died in the Vatican, his body swelling from fever, leaving a power vacuum wider than the Tiber. What if one man's homesickness had kept the popes in France forever? Would Christianity even look the same? Hold that thought. We're about to meet the spark that lit the fuse. April 7, 1378, the Sistine Chapel, still a hall, not yet Michelangelo's masterpiece, buzzes with 16 cardinals, mostly French, huddled under frescoed ceilings. Outside, Rome roars. 10,000 citizens, armed with stones and fury, pound the doors, chanting, Romano, Romano, a pope from Rome, or at least Italy, or heads will roll. The air stinks of sweat and fear. It's impressio, et metis, the pressure and terror etched into council records. In the chaos, they elect Bartolomeo Pregnano, the scholarly Archbishop of Bari, a surprise Italian pick, untainted by Avignon slime. He takes the name Urban VI, steps onto the balcony, and the mob erupts in joy. Bells peal, wine flows like the Arno. But Urban, oh, he wasn't the humble shepherd they hoped for. Short, sharped, with a temper forged in the fires of reformist zeal, he saw the cardinals as the root of all evil. Lazy, luxurious leeches, sucking the church dry. Within days, Urban's true colors blaze. At a banquet in the Vatican, he lashes out, "You cardinals live like princes, while peasants starve. I'll strip your palaces bare." Eyewitness vibes from Froissart's Chronicles, that globe-trotting gossip of the age. The French cardinals slink away, faces ashen, muttering in Occitan. One, perhaps Cardinal Jean de la Grange, whispers to his neighbor, "Let's flesh it," with a touch of imagined grit. True to the terror described, this madman will burn us all. We elected a wolf in shepherd's robes. They weren't wrong. Urban arrested 6 dissenters, torturing them in Castel Sant'Angelo until they confessed to plots that never existed. By summer, 11 cardinals bolt to Anagni, 50 miles southeast, holing up in a hilltop fortress. There, on September 20th, they declare Urban's election invalid, coerced by the mob, they claim, invoking canon law like a shield. In a candlelit chamber, amid thunderclaps that felt like God's own disapproval, they elect Robert of Geneva as Clement VII. Robert, a battle-hardened count, nicknamed the Butcher of Cesena for massacring Italian rebels in 74. Blood on his mitre from day one. Clement hightails to Avignon, backed by France's King Charles V, who smells opportunity, a puppet pope to counter England's Roman leanings in the 100 Years' War. Europe fractures overnight. England, the Holy Roman Empire, and most of Italy back Urban. France, Scotland, the Auld Alliance in full swing. Spain and Portugal rally to Clement. National lines harden like battle scars. Imagine Scottish lairds toasting Clement with whiskey. sneering at that Italian tyrant, while English knights pledge swords to Urban's true faith. But wait, Urban's no slouch. He excommunicates Clement as a son of perdition, while Clement fires back, calling Urban a devil incarnate. Letters fly like arrows. Urban's missives, preserved in Bologna archives, seethe with righteous fury. The gates of hell shall not prevail, he thunders, quoting Matthew. Yet, hell's gates, they were just swinging wide. For 11 years, Urban rules from Rome, a fortress under siege, fending off Clement's mercenaries with Neapolitan gold. When Urban dies in 1389, rumors swirl of poison, though likely just stress. His successor, Boniface IX, picks up the torch, selling indulgences to fund wars that achieve zilch. Across the Alps, Clement hunkers in Avignon's Palais des Papes, that brooding Gothic behemoth, plotting comebacks. His death in 1394 ushers Benedict XIII, a stubborn Aragonese canonist who promises reform but delivers deadlock. Benedict's a fortress himself, literally. He flees to Pensacola, a craggy Spanish castle, when French mobs turn on him in 1408, chanting Papa contra Papa, Pope against Pope. Envision a young French cleric, inspired by the Avignon court diaries in the Bibliothèque Nationale. Let's call him Brother Etienne, quill trembling as he records. The Pope weeps alone at midnight, not for his throne, but for the souls divided like torn cloth. I fear the wound festers beyond mending. Fiction's gentle hand, but it echoes real laments from Gerson's theological tracts, that Paris scholar who begged for unity. Question to chew: how does one man's hot head unravel a 1,000-year empire? The schism wasn't just popes at war, it was Christendom's family feud, with nations as squabbling siblings. Fast forward a decade, and the double papacy has calcified into a grotesque normal. By 1400, Europe's a chessboard. France wavers, briefly abandoning Benedict in 05 under public outcry, one pope or none. They howl, but crawls back when he dangles bribes. Portugal flips to Rome via a 1386 treaty, sealing it with royal weddings. Hungary, under Sigismund's rising star, stays urbanist, while Scotland's Clementines mock English urbanists as heretics in tavern ballads. The human toll, devastating. Pilgrims pay tithes twice over, confusing confessors who allegiance to which pope. Armies clash. Clement's forces sack cities in Italy, leaving widows wailing in Lucchese streets. Froissart tallies thousands dead. The church hemorrhages cash. Indulgences skyrocket, planting seeds for Luther's rage a century later. Theologically, it's pandemonium. Universities like Paris and Oxford debate obediences, which pope's sacraments count. A Parisian theologian, Pierre Daly, pens treatises, arguing for a council's supremacy, whispering revolution. The church is the people, not the man in white. But the real drama, the personalities. Enter Baldassare Cosa, future John XXIII, the pirate pope. Born in Naples to a noble house, he's a condottiero first, tall, swarthy, with a laugh like thunder, and a ledger of lovers that scandalized even Avignon. As a cardinal under Boniface, he raises armies, beds courtesans, and brokers peace like a Renaissance fixer. When the Pisan cardinals tap him in 1410, he reigns from Bologna, a warlord in silk, taxing the faithful to fund his vendettas. Subtle story weave draw from Cossa's trial records at Constance, where accusers paint him as Satan's deputy. Imagine him in a Bologna palazzo, wine in hand, confiding to a trusted nephew. Fictions spark on historical embers. Uncle, the tiara weighs like lead. Rome calls me thief, Avignon fool. But power, it's the only God that answers prayers. Causes no saint. He's accused of poisoning Alexander V, his predecessor, though poison tests crude mercury swabs cleared him. Still, his court, a den of spies and schemers, where whispers of abdication mix with plots to topple rivals. Meanwhile, Gregory XII in Rome, Urban's great-nephew, a mild Venetian diplomat, dithers. He agrees to resign in 1406 if Benedict does, envoys shuttling between castles like weary diplomats. But Benedict, holed up in Penascula's salt-sprayed towers, stone walls, I am Pedro de Luna, chosen by God. His Aragonese pride, chronicled in his own defiant bulls, dooms the talks. Europe tires. Riots erupt in Perugia, cardinals fleeing pitchforks. By 1409, desperation births disaster. Fatigued cardinals from both sides convene the Council of Pisa, not called by a pope, a canon law no-no, in that Tuscan port city's humid halls. They declare Gregory and Benedict notorious schismatics, per the acts preserved in Florentine archives, and elect Alexander V, a gentle Greek scholar who'd rather teach than rule. Alexander lasts 10 months, poison again, or just fever, yielding to causes John XXIII. Boom, 3 popes, John in Pisa, Bologna, Gregory in Rome, Benedict in Spain. Christendom's a 3-headed hydra, each head snapping at the others. France backs John briefly, then splits. England laughs in diplomatic dispatches. The Church devours itself. Impacts. The conciliar movement surges. Think Jean Gerson, that eloquent Paris rector, preaching from pulpits. A council heals what popes have rent asunder. His sermons, reprinted in Basel, ignite reformist fires. Spare a thought for the faithful caught in the crossfire. A farmer in Flanders, say, inspired by Huizinga's cultural histories. Bruges empties as guilds flee heretic zones, families torn by Papal flags. Does your soul go to heaven under the wrong obedience? Unanswered agony, fueling heresies like the Lollards in England, who mock the 3-headed pope in Wycliffe's tracts. Tease ahead, but 3 popes, that's not sustainable. Enter a Holy Roman Emperor with a hammer. Pisa's solution flops harder than a lead balloon. John XXIII, that roguish Cosa struts as unifier but acts the warlord, alienating allies. Gregory hunkers in Rimini, excommunicating Pisans. Benedict, ever the hermit, preaches from his fortress like a medieval Castro. Europe fractures further. Italy's city-states play all sides. Venice auctioning allegiance for trade perks. Enter Sigismund of Luxembourg, Holy Roman Emperor, an aspiring peacemaker. Tall, gold-haired, with a jaw like Caracolus bust. Sigismund's no saint. He's bedded half the courts of Europe, fathered bastards galore, but he's got vision. In 1413, at a rainy Rheinfelden summit, he corners John, convoke a council, or I'll drag you to it in chains. John, cornered, agrees. The Council of Constance opens November 5, 1414, in that lakeside German city. 3,000 delegates crammed into halls, debating under frescoes of the Last Judgment. Constance isn't gentle. John arrives in pomp, only to flee in woman's disguise, per trial transcripts. A skirts-wearing farce, foiled by lake patrols, dragged back. He's deposed March 1415 for simony, sodomy, and scandal. Harsh. But his rap sheet, from primary indictments, includes poisoning plots and pirate raids. Gregory resigns, nobly, July 4th, 1415, dissolving his college in a tear-streaked letter. For the Church's peace, I lay down my burden. Benedict, the diehard, from Pensacola, he thunders defiance, but his Spanish backers peel away. Excommunicated July 27, 1417, he fades into irrelevance. Dying 1423 with a handful of fanatics, his desertionists, as chroniclers dubbed them, now the radical bit, Hex Sancta. April 6, 1415, the council declares itself superior to any pope. The synod represents the universal church it proclaims, per the official decrees. Conciliarisms triumph, echoing Gerson's quill. Councils can depose tyrants. Pius II would later condemn it in 1460, but for now, it's the hammer that cracks the schism. November 11th, 1417, in Constance's cathedral, amid incense and imperial banners, they elect Aidan Colonna, Pope Martin V, a Roman noble battle-scarred from family feuds. Martin promises reform but delivers pragmatism, pardons for all, slow-burn changes. The schism ends, but scars linger. Martin exiles John to Florence, where he dies 1419, his tomb a quiet irony. Channel a council delegate's dispatch, inspired by Ulrich Rickenthal's eyewitness diary, the Constance chronicler's goldmine. The air hums with Latin fury, emperors and bishops bickering like fishwives. I, a Swabian knight, wonder if God laughs at our folly. Yet, in Martin's election, a dawn breaks, faint but real. That diary, housed in Zurich, captures the tedium and terror. My tweak adds heart without twisting truth. What if, speculative shiver, without Sigismund's iron will, does the triple threat drag into the 15th century, priming the powder for Hussite wars? Martin V limps the church back to Rome by 1420, but the damage profound. Prestige plummets, popes mocked in Chaucer's tales as hirelings. Conciliarism festers, birthing the Basel Council of 1431, which nearly splits the church again over Eastern unions. The schism's national scars fuel the Reformation. Luther cites it as proof of papal rot. Even today, when Cardinals conclave, echoes of 1378's mob linger in security protocols. Lessons: power corrupts, but so does fear. Urban's rage, born of zeal, birthed monsters. Unity's fragile, one election away from fracture. Mysteries abound. Was Urban mad or martyred? Did French gold truly puppet Avignon? And that poison swirl around Alexander, coincidence or Cos's shadow? What a ride through Papal pandemonium. The Great Western Schism reminds us, even God's house shakes when men grasp too tight. Could it happen again in our age of schisms, from denominations to digital tribes? Or was there a hidden hand, say, a shadowy French cabal, pulling strings we still can't see? Drop your theories in the comments. I read every one. Thanks for journeying with me, adventurers. If this epic lit your curiosity, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more unvarnished history hits. Bell notifications on, and I'll see you in the archives. Stay curious, stay kind. Ciao.